Hi there, it's Tony again, and today I'm going to be touching on one of October's birthstones. So this is one of my most exciting gemstones that you can actually get out there. These are classed as a phenomenal gemstone, so as much as you can get other gemstones that change colour and so on, opals are classed in their own right as a phenomenal gemstone, but they do come in a variety of different types, and each type has its own particular kind of look. So opals are split up into four main categories realistically. Country of origin can be the thing that determines what the actual opal type is, but also hand in hand with that, then they are also synonymous with a particular style. So whether it's the flash, the play of colours that you get coming through in the opal itself, or just a basic kind of appearance and how they actually come across to you, the viewer of the actual stone. So we're going to touch on each of the four main types, and you can see some examples of pieces that we've got in jewellery and some loose stones as well. If you've got any further questions, obviously, you can either then click onto the website or best to come into store. But let's visit the first one, and I'm going to show you some fire opals. Now these typically come from Mexico. They're very, very distinct because the fire opal comes across as a very orange colour typically, but it can vary all the way through from kind of a citrusy yellow colour all the way through to a very, very vibrant, bright orange. So the fire opal atypically has quite an opaque kind of look to it, so they don't tend to sparkle much. They've got just a lovely rich, warm kind of colour to them, almost like a flame as it comes through in the actual stone. If you happen to get something whereby it's then got a lustre over and above the actual body colour to it, then those ones are the ones that are probably the most desirable and probably one of the more rarer of that particular type of opal as well. So here we've got some lovely atypical bright orange opal. So this is a loose stone just now, as you can see, and when you actually view the stone really close up, you can see it's almost got that opaque appearance to it. Lovely colour and has a little bit of lustre to it. When we then compare that to something with a mid-range, we've got this beautiful pair of matched little round fire opals, which are a lovely warm orange colour to them. Really, really pretty. They're not very large stones, but really, really pretty. And then we go up to the exceptional. So this one here is a stunning fire opal. It's not even a carat in weight. It's actually just over 3/4 of a carat in weight, and very, very nicely set off with these lovely diamonds in this particular ring. So making really quite a statement all on its own. This beautiful fire opal, as you can see, it's got this lovely sparkle to it, as well as being that vibrant, bright orange colour to it. So that is fire opal. Then we can move on to the Australian opals. Now these are the ones that everybody thinks about when you talk about opals. They come across as normally being a white body colour, but actually they can vary a lot. You can get the white ones whereby they have just very discreet, subtle little colour flashes to them. You can even get some that have no colour at all and just appear as a white actual stone. So this one very, very subtle indeed, and this would what they would class as kind of a starting or a low-end opal. When we then show something that's got a little bit more colour, a bit more vibrancy about it, you can get these lovely little white opals, and when they've got beautiful flashes of reds and oranges and pinks to them, this is the thing that makes them rarer and more desirable, and ultimately, obviously, a little bit more valuable too. We then also included with the white opals, you can get them with then grey body tones to them. So I've got a pair of rings here, for example, one showing the white body colour and you can see those lovely blues and greens coming across through in that stone, and this has what we call a pinfire play of colour to it. When we then compare it to the grey opal, for example, next to it, this is what they would then class as a harlequin play of colour to it. So it's more large, kind of flat plates of colour that come across throughout the actual opal itself. Then we move on to the black opals. Now, black opals atypically come from only one location in Australia. It's New South Wales. And your black opals can vary quite a lot in colour. But basically, the darker the body colour, the more desirable they are as a starting point. So something that's got a very deep, dark, rich blue and green tone to it, like this particular loose stone here. This one happens to be over 6 carats in weight and is a certificated Lightning Ridge black opal. The only thing that would make this a much more desirable black opal would be as if it had any reds. Unfortunately, this only has blues and greens to it, but it is still an exceptional opal in its own right. This black opal then can come in a variety called a boulder opal. That's what we've got in this pendant here. So this boulder opal has got, again, that really dark background body colour to it. And as you can see in the little video, it shows up these beautiful blues and greens. And it's not just a harlequin, it's not just a small patchwork play of colour that comes through in this. You get great expanses of colour and play that form across the top of the whole stone. And that's the thing that makes these desirable. Again, like the black opal I was showing you earlier, the only thing that would have made this a much rarer, a much more exciting gemstone would be if it had any reds and oranges. Reds and oranges in opals as play of colour is probably the rarest to get in opals. These are caused by the silica beads themselves that make up the body of the opal, and it's how the light interacts with those silica beads. Different sizes of spheres within the opal matrix itself is what causes these play of colours and the way that the light interacts and bounces off of them. This is why something like pair of opals, trying to get a matched pair, something like these ones and these lovely earrings, is so difficult to actually do because each piece of opals varies so much. And it can take many months of searching through opals to find matched pairs to make either pairs of earrings, making a suite of jewellery even. So if you're trying to match up earrings to a pendant without having them there to actually see them in person, you can't really fully appreciate the subtle differences that you get with each actual opal. So these are all Australian ones that we've been talking about, these white ones through the greys and the blacks and the boulder opals. There is then one final type of opal out there, and these come from Africa. These are Ethiopian opals. They're a very different kind of appearance to them. They almost appear more like a jelly. So you can see into this almost, it is an opaque stone, but it has such a beautiful play of colour. And as you can see, as we turn it on the turntable here, you can see the beautiful deep red and orange flashes that come through in this particular stone. Again, like the black opal that we were looking at earlier, this piece is over 6 carats in weight, which makes it quite a desirable gemstone. But again, it is those reds, oranges, pinks that are the thing that are the most exciting and ultimately the most valuable thing about these particular opals. So if you've got any further questions about your birthstone, if you are fortunate enough to be born in October, this is one of your gemstones. You are very fortunate, and we will touch on your other option of gemstone, which is tourmaline. On that, you have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you soon.